بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I wanted to bring to your attention something which many people think is small, inconsequential, and perhaps something which really shouldn't be spent too much time thinking about. But as we know, alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His wisdom has given us Islam and has given us rulings which are not there to make things hard on us or to make life difficult for us. But really these things are there for our betterment, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made us. He therefore knows what is best for our well-being in this life and in the akhirah. And one of these issues that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned in a hadith and also is mentioned in the Quran is actually the issue of music. Now, many people may be thinking, well, look, this has been discussed and it's been discussed again, and people are saying it's halal, people are saying it's haram. But really, my dear brothers and sisters, we should realize that the Quran says, فَإِن تَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. So this means that whatever you disagree over, then refer it back to Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is what it says in the Quran. And if we see clearly, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in an authentic hadith, among my ummah, there will certainly be people who will permit zina, silk, alcohol, and musical instruments. And the hadith goes on. Now this is very interesting because we see this happening in front of our very eyes. This hadith is narrated in Sahih al-Bukhari, which is the most authentic book after the Quran of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what does this mean for us? This means that there will be people who will permit this. This is where the so-called difference of opinion is coming from. But we should realize, my brothers and sisters, that every one of the Sahaba, every one of the people that came after them, and all the people that came after them, they forbade music. There may be one or two people here and there who may have not come across this hadith or this ruling, but by and large, the early Muslims were very much against music. Why? If we look at modern music nowadays, we'll see a lot of evil lyrics, a lot of things which are promoting those things which are bad, and these things affect our psyche. Maybe you wonder that, why are certain things difficult for me? It could be, my dear brother or sister, that it's something that you watched or something that's been put into your heart by something you've listened to. And it's these things that shape the way we are. It's the way we think about things. I mean, even to this day, it's a bit of a tragedy, but I will remember I myself had to give up music as well when I realized that it was haram. So I understand the difficulty in that, but it's something which really you will remember. You remember, there's certain music that you just cannot get out of your minds. Now, even more sinister than this is that we should realize that there are a number of people who've worked in the music industry, and they've actually said very plainly, and you can see them you can look for these blogs, you can look for these websites where some people where there's Muslims and non-Muslims have said that a number of record companies, they actually sometimes perform sihr, magic, over the recording or during the recording session in order to add that extra element of, we would say, evil to that particular song. And this is very problematic because we are being brainwashed as we listen to this as a magical spell is cast. There is a lot of correlation between the occult, which is the whole world of magic and jinn, and related to music. And as some of the scholars used to say, that a person cannot have the Quran and music in their heart at the same time. Now, that's enough about what does this actually mean? This means that all musical instruments, apart from the daf, which is a simple one-sided tambourine without any metal on it, it's just a simple skin or similar material put over a drum which is beaten on various occasions. And you'll find that there are some of the nasheeds which have that on there. But every other single instrument is forbidden. And this is by far, if not the consensus, but the majority of Muslim scholars, both past and present. So, my dear brothers and sisters, don't Don't spend your time on these things which are actually making your deen very difficult to practice. You are poisoning your own heart, you're poisoning your own ears and your senses. It should also be noted that the issue of singing is without any instruments is not a problem as such, as long as the lyrics are good, and the ruling is that men are not allowed to listen to the voices of women, even though the women can sing in front of each other. So inshallah, that's a little short discussion on this issue of music. I know what a fitna it is and how difficult it is, part of the youth culture. But my dear brothers and sisters, if you really want to progress in your deen, you want to purify yourself and become a better Muslim, then one of the surefire things that you have to get rid of is music from your lives. And with that, I end that. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.